folks? Hope everybody's doing well out there. I just wanted to take a moment and ask you a favor. If you're enjoying this content and you've been watching these videos, I would appreciate if you would like and subscribe and share with anybody that you think might be interested. Also, if you're a new visitor, I appreciate you showing up. The purpose of this particular mini lesson is going to be talking about how to create interesting solos and get outside of your box of thinking about too many rules, meaning rudiments or licks that maybe bebop pioneers or even post-bop masters of the jazz drums have played. Something that I use a lot of times when I'm just kind of warming up my mind, and it comes out of a linear type of drumming. And for those of you who aren't aware of what linear drumming is, it's really a simple concept, meaning that you're playing lines between any of your four limbs. I would think of drummers such as Mike Clark, who played with Herbie Hancock and the Headhunters, and David Garibaldi, who was a long time and still is the legendary drummer for the group Tower of Power. And with those guys, you might have heard funk beats, something like this. 2, 3. Okay, so that's a really simple explanation, or demonstration, I should say, of kind of how they would play. And if you notice, a lot of the times there was activity happening between my right hand, left hand, and bass drum, or vice versa. Which brings me to the bulk of what I'm going to be talking about in this lesson. So stick around and feel free to try to play some of these along with me if you wish. I'm going to start off with simple ideas being singles between my hands and my bass drum. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the triplet between the bass drum and the snare drum, and those are going to be primarily played in singles. Now you notice that I'm keeping my hi-hat on 2 and 4, which I think is a really good idea for you to practice out there. So in context, 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the beauty of this is you can play it anywhere around the kit. So for example, my right hand could wander around the kit, or my left hand could wander around the kit. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, don't forget there are other sound sources that you can use. Okay, your creativity is the limit. So explore all of these and have fun with them. Which brings me to my second variation of that same idea. I'm now going to play 2 notes on my hands followed by a third on the bass drum. And if you can imagine, we're going to add another one. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Until the cows come home. So as you can imagine, I'm going to go one more step and I'm going to kind of stop there. It's going to be a group of 5. So essentially 4 notes on my hand followed by 1 on the bass drum. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I did a slight edit towards the end of that where I just played something to connect it so that I could finish a 4-bar phrase. So let's imagine that same flow. I guess I should flip my sticks around. That's going to be now the 8th note. And we're going to go back through the entire exact same scheme, starting with singles, going to, singles between the bass drum and the snare drum. So 2-note groups, followed by 3-note groups, right, 4-note groups, and 5-note groups. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now we go up to groups of 3. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, some of you might have noticed that towards the end of, like, the very last thing that I played is the famous Bill Stewart kind of windmill thing that he does. And I'll show you that in more detail a little bit later. Continuing on the same line, we now have a 4-note group. Followed by a 5-note group. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. So for the next step, I want to be very clear in that you should spend a lot of time working out each one of these levels and figuring out how to phrase them and feel in 4 and 8-bar phrases. So a suggestion would be to play 4 bars time and then play just one idea for 4 bars and see if you can come out back to time on the top of the next 4 bars. So here it is in triplets. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. Get the idea. And essentially you want to go up through all of those both as triplets, 8th notes, 16th notes, however you choose to use them. And the idea would be that you get to where you become fluid with the ideas in such a way that you can use them in solos. So I'm going to attempt to play a couple of different trading examples, playing 4 bars time on my ride cymbal and the snare drum and bass drum, and then go into that linear idea, employing all of those different ideas, both at triplets and 16th notes. Okay? 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. something that I should have mentioned earlier too, in addition to using different sound sources like stick shots, feel free to use your right hand as a sweep. Same thing with your left hand, okay? So here it is, played at a slightly faster tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Noticed on the very last one I played an 8-bar solo, and that's kind of the logical progression. So start with small ideas and try to keep building your vocabulary and freeing your mind based on using that idea, and not only being confined to using rudiments, which are very good, but also another idea. And if you might have noticed on the very last example, I started to branch out a little bit and not fill up all the space. So that's another very, very important thing that I must stress. And I hope most of you watched all the way to the end, because that might be in and of itself worth its weight in gold. Okay. As always, I really appreciate you joining me here on my channel. Please spread the word. If you got any questions or comments, I always love to hear from you and try to answer those as much as I possibly can. So with that, I will bid you the farewell, and thank you so much. Have a great day.